Hello, everybody. We are here at the beautiful Sidney and Byrne Davis Arts Center in historic downtown Fort Myers, and we are here for none other than Combat Quest 33. This is the 8th installment in the Road Trip series, and we are excited to be here, ladies and gentlemen. We've already had a really big night of fights so far with Combat Quest Boxing 3 happening. We saw some impressive debuts. We saw some people stay undefeated. We saw the Dominator Aldo Dominguez retain his championship in a very, very tough fight against Tyler Kent. I mean, let's talk a little bit about that first. We were talking how Aldo Dominguez was a perfect fighter right before he came into that fight. He's young, he's talented, he has a very, very tough gym behind him, and he's undefeated. He's 10-0. He's got 4 different championships from 4 different promotions.
I think it was 5.
It might have been. I'm not 100% sure, but all I know is he's got so many championships I've lost count at this point.
Listen, we dubbed him the Thanos of combat sports.
Absolutely.
After seeing all the belts on his waist, around his shoulder, around his shoulder, around an arm, around an arm. He's doing everything he can as an amateur fighter.
Absolutely.
And it's only a matter of time. Y'all want to come and see him as many times as y'all can here at Vigilant, because it's only a matter of time before he's not here anymore, before he makes way too much for our payroll, that he has to go on to bigger and better things.
He's going to get that call, sign that dotted line, and he'll be on to greener pastures after that. But right now, I mean, we got to see an absolute showcase from Dominguez. As we were talking about, it was a really big height difference in his opponent, Tyler Kent. Tyler Kent was about 6 or 7 inches taller than Dominguez, as you mentioned before.
Yeah, so it's tough. It's tough to kind of work around that.
Right.
As somebody who's fought both taller and smaller guys than myself, it's tough to figure out how to really close that distance and work around his reach advantage. I come in just to try to land something, and he can pop me 1 or 2 times before I can back out. But Aldo really did his thing. He really did his thing. He worked around it. He landed some big shots. There was a lot of stagnant a little bit, you know, throughout some of the rounds, just both the guys filling each other out. It was a big fight. It was an important fight, and both guys knew that. But at the end, Aldo was really able to take over and take advantage of any little thing that he saw. He landed some big shots, some big kicks, some really flashy stuff that was really impressive. And I think the thing that impressed me the most was round 1 or round 5.
I know,
his gas tank was full. He did not look like he was exhausted at all.
No, I mean,
he was able to keep going.
Rounds.
Yeah, and so that was what, from me as somebody who's done it himself, that was what was impressing me the most.
Yeah, I mean, it was some highlight reel replays and some, you know, you can see right here some of the action that we were witnessing earlier on. Aldo Dominguez, just a human highlight reel of a fighter. But, I mean, it was a really big night for Futures MMA as a whole, if we're, you know, want to go into the broader perspective, because yes, that is Aldo Dominguez's home gym, but there were also, you know, several other athletes who competed Futures MMA. We had Bryant Pichelle, who was repping Futures MMA, and we also had Joel Hill, who's repping Futures MMA, and you also cannot forget about actually probably one of the fights of the night that we had when Arlette Estrada got the victory earlier tonight. She took another dub home for Futures MMA, but Arlette Estrada, we can go ahead and touch on that as well too. She's been a very hot up-and-coming rising star. Immediately got you know, noted in her first matchup back at Dogfights 1. She got that TKO victory in the 3rd round. It was very impressive. And on Combat Quest Boxing 3, we were talking about this just a few minutes ago. We really think that that was probably fight of the night. I mean, we had, I believe, 8 cards on this Combat Quest Boxing, but the women's kickboxing matchup was the fight of them all. I mean, from gate to gate, front to back, first round to the last bell, non-stop action. I think I even said it at one point during the commentary. I don't think they stopped throwing punches in one of them. Like, I think they punched
became a fan of both. Now, I was a fan of Arlette the first time we saw her, but I became a fan of both of these women, Grace and Arlette. I mean, they were both, it was such an even fight, not just skill-wise, but just build-wise. They both looked, I mean, if you didn't know who, like, they looked the same. They're built the same. They fought the same. They were both very active. They knew that they were coming in with a chip on their shoulder. They wanted to represent for International Women's Day, and they did that. They came in and proved that this isn't just a man's sport. This is a full, all gender, both gender, however you want to talk about it, sport. And they came in, and if I had a vote, and Big Brandon's listening, I'd say that's fight of the night.
Absolutely.
I don't need to see the rest of the fight. I'm sure I'm going to be eating those words here in a little bit, but they were impressive. Shout out to Grace. She walked away taking an L, but she didn't lose anything. Like, that was as impressive of a debut without winning as you can have.
No, absolutely. And I mean, at the very, very least, it gives her something to go back and learn from. So that way, next time she decides to step into the cage, she can, you know, work on the weaknesses.
And that's what separates a good fighter from a great fighter.
Absolutely.
Taking what's happened,
right,
taking it and applying it, learning from it, and putting it towards getting better and building off of that.
Absolutely. I mean, when you have such a solid gym behind you like Futures MMA, I mean, we were talking about Arlette, we talked about Aldo. Let's go ahead and talk about Brian Michelle and the real clinic that he decided to put on in his co-main event matchup against Darius Scott. I mean, we already were familiar with Brian Michelle's Muay Thai kickboxing game, undefeated, 2-0, and he came in here and wanted to remain undefeated and did exactly that in definitive fashion too. I mean, he got the TKO finish in the second round that propelled him up to being a 3-0 fighter. I mean, you can't ask for much more with such a strong team behind you. You know, Aldo Dominguez and Brian Michelle and Arlette Estrada don't exactly have losses to go back and learn from.
Right.
But it seems like they're learning everything they need with Coach Rodriguez.
Well, that's the thing about Futures and Coach Rodriguez is he's been in the game for so long. He's seen just about everything there is to see in combat sports as a whole. So he can use his wealth of knowledge to apply it towards these fighters that might not be taking losses, but they're still learning and still able to apply things. And he's able to see it from the point of view like, this could have lost you the fight, so we're not going to let it lose you a fight moving forward.
Exactly.
Now Bryant looked great.
Absolutely.
I think he should be in line. He should be in entitled talk right now. Absolutely. That's how impressive he's been. Just really smooth, just really technically sound with the way he's able to fight, and I was thoroughly impressed. He went in there and he didn't let anything take that fight away from him.
No, absolutely not. I mean, he went in there and he gave it his all, and he walked out victorious, which is what we've come to find synonymous with Futures MMA is fighting all the way through no matter what, and 99.9% of the time walking out victorious on the other side. Now, that was just Combat Quest Boxing 3. We still have a whole lineup of matchups for you here tonight. Starting off with some combat jiu-jitsu. We're starting off with some grappling, but it's not just your regular jiu-jitsu, ladies and gentlemen. We all know regular Brazilian jiu-jitsu rules is strictly grappling, no striking at all. The only way to end that matchup is by getting a submission, and this is going to be a little bit different. It's almost the same rules, except for once both combatants get that fight to the ground, they're going to go ahead and be able to use open hand slaps to go ahead and take their opponent, have their way with them.
When you hear those slaps happening, because a lot of people can think of, pure mat wrestling and pure jits and think it's kind of boring. It's kind of, for somebody like me who's been doing grappling and amateur wrestling and stuff since I was like 7 years old, it's something that I get going for, I get bricked up for. But when a lot of casual fans just see it as kind of hugging and rolling around, but once you hear that smack across somebody's neck or in their gut, it wakes you up. It's like a chop in wrestling. It gets the crowd going, and so that's what's really exciting about this. We get to see some technical, pure like chest work jiu-jitsu.
Absolutely.
But we also get to see people get the taste slapped out of their mouth.
And on top of that, this is going to be a pretty high-level jiu-jitsu matchup because Tyler Stokes currently holds a first-degree purple belt, and his opponent, Mathew Mumford, is a fourth-degree purple belt. So this isn't going to be just, two guys rolling around. These are going to be two high-level grappling practitioners going up against each other almost in a chess match, and it's going to be really just a battle of the wits. It takes one small slip, one small mistake, one well-placed slap across the face, and all of a sudden you're staring up at the lights and not even knowing what happened because the fight ended. And we're going to have more of that actually coming tonight, because we're going to have to give a big vigilante welcome to one of Vigilant MMA's one of the more popular combat jiu-jitsu is
definitely a staple in our brand.
No, absolutely, but I want to go ahead and welcome back Tyler Funky Bones Jones.
Funky Bones.
It's been a long time since we've seen Funky Bones here, but as a fellow Chicago boy, I'm really excited to see him back here in the cage. We have Tyler Jones going up against Mauricio Loyo III, and this is another one that's going to be a very, very high-level grappling matchup because Tyler Jones currently does hold a purple belt as well, but Mauricio Loyo is a 4th degree brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Both of these guys are fixing to come in here and just jits the crap out of each other.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be so impressive, so fun. No gi jits, so it's pure just forcing your will over another human being. And that's what gets me so fired up about combat sports and wrestling and jiu-jitsu. It's just you and your opponent just really working against each other. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be, if you are a wrestling and jiu-jitsu purist like myself, you are going to enjoy it. You bring out that notebook and start taking some notes because both of these bouts, both of these combat jits bouts are going to be ones that you can learn from and apply moving forward to your career.
Absolutely. I mean, with Mauricio Loyo, he's such a high-level practitioner of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he's become synonymous with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We've seen him compete at Combat Quest Jiu-Jitsu events. I believe he's had 3 victories at 3 different events for Combat Quest Jiu-Jitsu. But Tyler Jones, his name has become synonymous with combat jiu-jitsu here in Vigilant MMA, which is what they're going to be doing tonight. And, I mean, every time I've seen Tyler Jones here in Vigilant MMA, he's had some of the best bouts of the night, some of the most iconic CJJ matchups that we've had here in Vigilant MMA. One of the most memorable that comes to mind was his matchup with Wesley Cordova.
Yeah.
And, I mean, him and Wesley went at it like absolute Neanderthal animals. I didn't even know what I was witnessing at the moment. It was one of the grittiest, toughest, hard-fought combat jiu-jitsu matchups I had ever seen. And it was between that man, Tyler Funky Bones Jones, and Wesley Cordova. So I'm looking to see what Tyler Jones is going to bring us because, like I said, that is a lot to handle with such an experienced fighter. But we still do have more combat jiu-jitsu on the card when CJ Muxto goes up against Benito Rodriguez. So make sure you check that out as well. But, ladies and gentlemen, we do have some MMA on the card tonight. One of the big fights that I did want to talk about was Daemar Harleston going up against Harry Morisset. Now, the reason that I wanted to talk about this was because I'm not sure if you were at the weigh-ins yesterday or if you all saw the weigh-ins on social media, but the weigh-ins between these 2 men right here got a little chippy, to say the least. They both had to be separated by our official, by the photographer. There was words exchanged. So a very, very heated bout in this one. But Daemar Harleston is hailing from Futures MMA here in Fort Myers, Florida. And, I mean, he has also had a bit of a record when it comes to kickboxing. He's undefeated 2-0. Or, I'm sorry, Harry Morisset is undefeated 2-0 as a kickboxer. But last time we saw Daemar Harleston was in a very, very hard-fought Muay Thai kickboxing victory, actually right here at the Sidney Byrne Davis Art Center. When he walked out, he had a huge swollen eye, but he was walking out victorious, and he was happy. But he's going up against a really tough opponent in Morisset. I mean, Morisset's had 6 fights as an MMA fighter. He's had 2 fights as a kickboxer, and he's won both of those. So it's going to be a lot of experience in Harry Morisset going up against as somewhat of an experienced Daemar Harleston, but somebody who's training with Futures MMA.
Now listen, I know you mentioned that there were sparks flying, there was tension at the weigh-ins.
Right.
That carried over into today because before you got here, there were some fireworks outside before the event even started. People had to be broken up. So I'm excited to see them finally get a hold of each other and really just something about fighting is great, but when there's more to it, when there's just actual aggression and will to put pain onto your opponent, that just adds something more to it.
Something about it, something primal, it just brings something out of you. But I also want to talk about later on tonight in your featured bout of the evening we have the return of Cheesecake Blake Torchon going up against Alec Garza in a Muay Thai kickboxing matchup. Blake Torchon is a former champ here in Vigilant MMA and kickboxing. He's also been a multiple-time champion in jiu-jitsu. We've seen him roll around with some of the best, including Braylon Carroll. He actually defeated him to become a champion at one point. I mean, a very, very high-level, skilled, experienced fighter in Blake Torchon, hailing out of Fight Me Combat Sports.
And he likes cheesecake.
He loves cheesecake. I mean, you can't take that away from him. But he's going up against Alec Garza tonight, and that's going to be one heck of a matchup for your featured bout. But in the co-main event, in a 135-pound MMA title eliminator matchup, you have Devin Pegg taking on Elijah Morales. Now, Devin Pegg goes by Manu the Great, and I actually got to talk to Devin Pegg a little bit over social media. This guy has been a champion before. He's not unfamiliar with it. He was the former Leo Code 135-pound champion, former Street Beefs 140-pound MMA champion. This guy is well-rounded. He might not have been in, too many sanctioned fights, but he has that Street Beefs experience. He's very, very good condition. I can't say that word enough. Very, very good physical condition. I saw the pictures of him from the weigh-ins. He was looking solid, shredded, and ready to go for this matchup here today. But not to forget, last but most certainly not least, ladies and gentlemen, in your main event, the Ronin, Malcolm Wallace, undefeated, 5-0, the youngest son of the Wallace family, and your current 170-pound MMA Vigilant champion is going to be defending his championship up against Tate Johnson. Tate Johnson is undefeated right now with a 3-0 record, holding that up against Malcolm's record of 5-0, pretty evenly matching the experience column. But there's just something special when you talk about the Wallace family.
Listen, I talked to Malcolm earlier. He is the Ronin. He is the top dog here in Vigilant. He's the most popular guy on the card. He's the tribal chief of Vigilant MMA.
He absolutely is.
And he's here. This is his house. Not just this octagon, but this town, this city is his house, and he's here to defend it and show everybody why he is the Ronin, quite possibly the best that Vigilant has ever seen.
Absolutely. I mean, 5-0, undefeated, 170-pound champion. It speaks for itself. Crew Wallace is a household name here in Vigilant MMA. Coach Crafton Wallace, his two sons, Malcolm and Marcellus, both accomplished fighters in their own right. But Malcolm Wallace is looking to move up to 6-0, remain undefeated, and retain that championship right here on home ground in the 239. He's going to be doing that in your main event of Combat Quest 33. That's going to be coming your way in just a few moments, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, so far we've had a really hot night of fights, and it's only going to keep heating up as things keep running, ladies and gentlemen. Combat Quest 33, the 8th installment of the Road Trip series, is bringing you more combat jiu-jitsu and more MMA as the night rolls on. We're going to be bringing that your way in just a few minutes after some words from our sponsors, but until then, this has been El Segundo Luis Soto, alongside the Fatty Daddy Superstar, Juice James.
Hustle harder. Hustle harder, Inc.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome everyone to the second card of the night. I want to please ask that there are no live videos taken during the bouts. No live videos taken during the actual. Please, no live videos to social media during the fights. Thank you. Welcome. Enjoy. Would everyone please stand? Please stand at this time for our national anthem.
Yes, chef.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready for some action-packed fighting. I will at this time pass it over to our ring announcer.
There we go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the beautiful Sidney and Byrne Davis Arts Center for Combat Quest, brought to you by Vigilant MMA and sanctioned by Global Fighting Solutions. Tonight's commissioner has been on major networks such as History Channel, ABC, and the Discovery Channel, and you can catch him on Real Treasure Hunters, Michael Gattusi. Your referee in charge of the action today will be Jose Laguerre. Judges ringside are David Grant, Laren Hennessy, and Jeff Santella. Big ups to our cage queen Samantha, our DJ Serve One, production team Justin and Sean, and we're protected today by Blackhorn Security Services. At this time, we kindly remind you that there is no live videography during the fights, only before and after. You will be excused from the event after an initial warning. Please do not ruin your afternoon. Now it's time to rock the cage. Our first bout of this evening takes place in the Vigilant Combat Jiu-Jitsu Bantamweight Division. Introducing first, Mathew Mumford.
All right, y'all, this might be my new favorite fighter. Coming out to Reading Rainbow. This is the greatest moment ever. I love this.
Camera might have missed him. He's already out here. Cameraman missed him. He's already out here. But
friends to know and ways to grow. A reading rainbow. I can be anything.
Mathew Mumford, hailing from Warriors Academy Independence.
A reading rainbow.
He's a purple belt walking into this one.
If you go twice as high, take a look. It's in that book, the reading rainbow. I can go anywhere.
And now, Tyler Sykes.
That's a beard if I've ever seen one. Goodness gracious. This will be interesting.
And you got to forgive me, ladies and gentlemen. I read off the wrong line, but Mathew Mumford is a 4th degree purple belt. He's representing Ayler's MMA and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Now this is Tyler Stokes, and he is representing Lawyers Academy Independent, holding a purple belt. I apologize for the mix-up. But making the long haul over here from Kansas City, Missouri. And this is going to be our opening combat jiu-jitsu bout of the evening. Once we get our introductions out of the way, I'm going to explain the rules in case you missed our introduction earlier.
G-Shock over DC grinding every time you see me. That Louis Vuitton completely now. R.I.P. the Ant while I'm out here stunting with Kiki. I'll be riding.
I didn't know Kratos decided to take up jiu-jitsu.
This is that's a beard.
In our first bout this evening, introducing first, fighting out of the tea-time blue corner, a mixed martial artist representing Allers, BJJ, and MMA across Alligator Alley in Miami. Making his Vigilant MMA debut, give it up for purple belt, Mathew Rough House Mumford. And fighting out of the Seacrest Water Tiki red corner, a grappler representing Warriors Academy MMA all the way from KC, Missouri. Also making his Vigilant MMA debut, give a vigilante welcome to Tyler Sykes. Your referee in charge, Jose Laguerre.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so if you are not familiar with combat jiu-jitsu, I believe it is an 8-minute round. Normally it is 10 minutes, but it may be 8. But nonetheless, it's majority a grappling matchup. However, different from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, once the fight goes to the ground, both competitors are allowed to use slaps or open hand palm strikes. It's going to be a 6-minute matchup.
With 2 one-minute overtime rounds if needed.
And if we go there, then we can explain the rules at that time. But for now, these two are locking horns. Try to go.
These are both very experienced, very trained jits practitioners.
Trying to secure that leg, but
very beautiful takedown.
wow. And these are two high-level practitioners, as we were mentioning before, both holding purple belts. And what you guys just can't see how their bodies are pretzeled together right now, but this is very much a chess match. Every movement, any missed motion could be detrimental.
And that's what's so beautiful about jiu-jitsu is it's and why it's so different from mat wrestling is jiu-jitsu is very reactive. That was one of the biggest things that I had to get used to when I transitioned from mat wrestling to jiu-jitsu. Was it's very reactive. You want to be comfortable on your back and let your opponent put themselves into a position that they don't want to be in.
Right.
Whereas with mat wrestling, it's very offensive, very aggressive. You make things happen yourself.
For sure.
You don't want to be on your back. That's the biggest difference between mat wrestling and jiu-jitsu is you don't want to be on your back in mat wrestling, and that's where you operate from in jiu-jitsu.
Right now, neither able to get the upper hand, but attempted for a rear naked choke there, but Stokes was able to slip out. Tried to pick the leg, but. We're at the 3 minute, 30 seconds, just about.
And y'all don't realize how taxing this is on y'all's bodies, on y'all's cardio and your gas tank, with the term we always use in combat sports. Just your endurance gets tested because you are physically trying to work against a grown person while they physically try to work back against you. And so it's tough. And that was a beautiful takedown attempt, but
nice slap there. They're on the ground and 100% legal.
And this is what I told y'all. Y'all might be sleeping.
Tried to go for the slap when they were standing, and they quickly apologized. It's only when they're on the ground are palm strikes and slaps allowed.
And now you can hear the crowd in here.
The crowd's starting to murmur a little bit.
It wakes you up when you hear that first pop of skin.
And that was a real solid slap there from Stokes as well.
That's what's so interesting about combat jits. It's just as you're so locked in and focused on, because it's such a mind sport. It's such a mind thing, wrestling and jiu-jitsu, and then all of a sudden you just hear a smack across the face, and it just gets you so turned on.
And I mean, yeah, that first smack in the face definitely woke everybody up. And I mean, we're almost expecting, and you see Mumford getting some retaliation slaps in here. There it is. See the crowd firing up.
Yeah, I told y'all that combat jits is something.
Trying to expose that neck, and this is how the slaps can come into play. I mean, you reach up to try to defend your face, you leave your neck open, you leave your body open, you leave an arm out.
And you got to be so careful with jits. It's like you can get tapped out so quickly by putting yourself in just half of the wrong position that you don't want to be in.
There it is.
This is something.
Listening to his coach. Nearing the minute mark. Nearing that 1 minute mark. Just passed.
And the only way to win.
Oh. He may have.
He lost it.
He had the leg of Mumford, but Mumford able to wiggle out, trying to wall walk out of that one.
These are some advanced level jits practitioners. And I don't see how he can see over that hair.
Right, I mean, it's just so much. And closing in on the final 20 seconds.
Oh, nice takedown.
Mumford with the open hand palm strikes. And that's going to be the end of the regulation time for that matchup. So now we can go ahead and explain the overtime rules. The way that this is going to work, one fighter will start in the middle of the cage. The other fighter will start behind him. They will both be in a seated seatbelt lock position. Each fighter will be given 1 minute to escape. Whoever can either escape or get the submission within the quickest time of that minute wins. So if Mumford goes first and he's able to escape within 30 seconds, then at that time, Stokes would get a turn and would have to escape within those 30 seconds. If he does not, then Mumford would be our winner. So Stokes is going to have the first attempt to escape here. The quicker that he escapes here is the bigger of an advantage that he has on defense. He has 1 minute. running up to about 20 seconds, but I mean, Mumford has a very clean grip right now. I mean, he's got to kind of be eating his beard right now, too. He's able to free the hands, but he's got to get completely out of the body lock. He has to fight the hands, he has to fight the legs, and right now Mumford is all over him.
Mumford's like a boa constrictor right now.
So now that Mumford has secured that the whole time, even though he's tired, he now has 1 full minute to escape. What are they doing? All right. So now positions are switched. Stokes has to hang on for his life for 1 minute. Already breaking the hands. He's got a better head start than Stokes did. Mumford's doing good. He's out, and that Mumford's now going to be declared our winner. He escaped in just under 14 seconds. That's it.
And that is the end of that first bout.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're just waiting on our announcer now for the official announcement of the winner.
Winner by faster escape out of the blue corner, Mathew Mumford.
The winner by faster escape.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the first combat jiu-jitsu matchup of the night. We still got a couple more of those down the line, but that's how we're going to open up with Combat Quest 33. Big congratulations to Mathew Mumford for securing the victory here today. But now we're moving on, ladies and gentlemen. We were talking a little bit about this fight earlier and about how things got chippy yesterday at the weigh-ins. Things got a little shiesty earlier today here between these two. But now is the time. Harry Morisset and Daemar Harleston are set to lock horns in the 145-pound MMA division.
In our second bout this evening, fighting in the MMA featherweight division, introducing first Harry Morisset.
This is going to be a fight, y'all. This is going to be something to watch.
Hey, and you might catch me laughing. Spent summer with Nuri, recording year running savage in a mansion. I stunt like my daddy. $200 Fanta, y'all bitch made. I skip game for rapper to rapper. You going backwards, I don't get it. Can't remember the last time I didn't get mentioned. Y'all know who it is, and I'm on bond, bitch. I'm like that ugly ass joint up my slick, and I'm twisted. That's expected from the contender. I'm the 3-time champ, still competing in game. My niggas get upset, talking them when they suck. But yeah, we started at the same time.
We're waiting on Harry to arrive.
Not to mention, yo, bitch, can text and keep covering.
That seems to be the trend here today, is the fighters letting the anticipation build up.
Letting us wait for their arrival.
Emancipation and that pussy so good deserve a letter of recommendation. What you saying? I've never been the one to play with. I still shoot the shit I need in this conversation.
In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, I want to go ahead and remind you guys that Vigilant MMA did launch our inaugural Discord server. You can go ahead and join the Discord community. There you can interact with some of your favorite fighters, personalities, and stars from Vigilant MMA and become more of the community. If you got to become a vigilante, you can check us out on Discord at Vigilant MMA. Also on the website, vigilantmma.co. That's vigilantmma.co. So that way you can get information on future events. That way you can either purchase a ticket to be there in person, or you can get the pay-per-view information so that way you don't miss out on the action no matter where you are. As long as you have internet access, you can be part of the Combat Quest action.
I better send a dick before that call me nigga too long. And when she on my dick, you kiss that bitch and she suck my dick. Nigga wanna get the money, got all these hoes on me, make the bitch love me and I leave alone.
Here you can see the crowd in the 239 is packed out. We have people standing in the back because we are out of seats. This place is absolutely packed out for Combat Quest 33. This is the 8th installment of the Road Trip series with many more to come. But I gotta say, as much as I love Tampa, Fort Myers is starting to become near and dear. I mean, every time that we come to Fort Myers here for Vigilant MMA, they've always been so welcoming as a town, as a community, and these fans always show up on fire. These fans are passionate about fighting, and they show up loud and proud, and we appreciate every single one.
Absolutely. Pretty soon we're going to have to move to a much bigger venue than the Sidney and Bern Davis Arts Center, as beautiful as it is here.
As good as
we're
the Sidney
packing it out every single time that we're here.
I was saying, as good as they've been to us, I mean, Vigilant MMA has been growing slowly but surely into, you know, this big machine that it has today, putting on these shows that are debuting some of the best young untapped talent that the state of Florida, that the rest of the United States has to offer.
And while we wait on Harry to arrive, I want to remind y'all listening at home to follow Vigilant_MMA on Instagram, follow El_LS on Instagram,
That's me.
and follow _JuiceJames on Instagram. Give us some love, we'll shout y'all out, and we post some fun stuff. I've been posting dumb workout videos with just my internal thoughts that don't make any sense, talking about listening to, you know, gospel, and then Ellie Goulding and Backstreet Boys during my workout and stuff. El Segundo's posting his food that he cooks. He's a chef when he's not on the stick here, and so we have fun. And Vigilant posts nothing but great MMA stuff. So follow all of us and show some love for your boys.
And we want to give a shout out to Fort Myers' own Blue Cafe for providing the commentary team with some much needed caffeine earlier on in the night. Shout out Blue Cafe. It's just down the street here in the 239, right down the street from the Sidney Bern Davis Arts Center.
And shouts to Brandon too, putting on another amazing show.
Absolutely.
Great fights, great matchups. All of them for the most part are very even, and that's one of his gifts. One of the talents he has is making sure these fights are even and competitive and not one-sided. You know, he's really good at that.
And he's good about putting on new talent, about giving people a chance to cut their teeth. But he's not just looking locally. Of course, we have the best local talent that there is to offer from Tampa, from Miami, from Fort Myers. But we're looking at some of the best talent from around the United States. We have fighters here tonight from Kansas City. I believe there's a fighter here tonight from California as well. We've had fighters come from all over the place, from North Carolina.
We just had a fighter from...
We had a fighter come actually here from Japan.
Yeah.
He was on active duty in the military in Japan, and he made his way here, the long journey across the pond to be here for Vigilant MMA. So you can't say, no, we just use these local guys, we use fan favorites. No. We go and find the best fighters that the world has to offer, and we bring them right here to this stage to battle it out. And sometimes those fighters like to make us late. That's okay.
And if you are looking to become a fighter, to join the ranks of all the combat sports athletes that we have that are all over the world, it's a beautiful, great sport. I suggest all parents putting their kids into it. It builds up a certain kind of self-confidence and self-esteem. And if you're looking at doing that, I mean, we got to shout out some of the best schools around this area. We got Inferno, we got Futures, we got Death War, we got keep it going. Who else do we got?
I mean, we got just down here in South Florida, there's Valhalla MMA, there's the Goat Shed down in Miami. If we're talking over in Tampa area, as you mentioned, we've got Death War. There's also, oh my gosh, it's slipping my mind.
There's
Fight Me Combat
Sports. Highlander with my boy Mike isn't dealing with his stuff.
Yes, sir.
I hope you get well soon, Mike. He's dealing with some cancer.
Gracie Tampa South, Gracie Pack Gym, Gracie West Chase. A lot of the Gracie gyms are very, very reputable out in Tampa. I mean, and if you're looking into doing kickboxing as well, there's so many options up in Tampa, down south in Florida. But just in general, if you're not in Florida, if you're in another state, do your research. Don't just sign up for the first gym that wants to take your money. Sign up for a reputable gym that wants to make you the best.
And I can't recommend it enough. Parents, when your kids are young, get them into combat sports. Something, whether it's wrestling, whether it's jiu-jitsu, whatever it is, it builds something up for them. But aside from that, look, we see Harry coming finally to the octagon, ready to go. I think he might have had to use a bathroom or something, get those chills out of him, and he's ready to go. This is going to be a fight. This is going to be something to watch.
Absolutely. And he's hailing from Combat Sports, Fight Me Combat Sports. Currently has 6 fights as an MMA fighter. He also had 2 fights in kickboxing in which he went undefeated. The last time we saw him was actually in an MMA fight back at Combat Quest 32. Unfortunately, that came in a loss up against Thorn.
Yeah,
if you remember that matchup. Thorn took that one away in a unanimous decision victory, so I can only imagine that Morisset is looking to get his get back.
Right, but he's got his work cut out for him. He's going against somebody who's a very game, Daemar, Harleston, second chance, right? No, he's not second chance.
No, he's not second chance.
He's
Daemar Harleston.
Yeah, he's here. He's ready to fight. He's ready to do his thing, and it's going to be a fight. This one is one to watch.
Yeah, every time we've seen Daemar Harleston in the cage before, I mean, he has that Futures MMA energy to him. He's very aggressive, very offensive, and he fights till the end. I mean, he doesn't take no for an answer in the cage. But we're going to have to see what he does up against this man right here, Harry Morisset.
He looks ready to go, finally, after a brief waiting.
And now, Daemar Harleston.
And Daemar, another fan favorite here. This is going to be a fight, y'all.
Yo, I bring cribs, $100 bills, pill on the bodies, and number 4 wheels, write a book full of
hopefully, Daemar doesn't keep us waiting like Harry Morisset did, but nonetheless, Daemar Harleston will be making his way to the cage in just a moment here. There he is, tailed by Coach Rodriguez and the rest of the Futures MMA squad.
He's got that whole crew with him. I mean,
you can see in the background there, I see Joel Hill. I can see Aldo Dominguez. Of course, you got Coach Rodriguez. I mean, you got all the Futures guys here. Brian Fischel. You can even see Jaden Rivera there from Inferno MMA, one of the close sister fight gyms. I can see Sam the Saiyan Martin there in the background, another one of the Futures prospectives. You can even see Dante Friga even here, one of the young phenoms in the Muay Thai kickboxing. Always gotta love Friga time. But right now it's Harleston time.
It's Harleston time. And listen, like I always say, these two gyms, Futures and Inferno, they're not going to put their name on somebody that they don't think is an absolute monster that can actually do this and really represent them well.
They wouldn't send somebody in who wasn't ready.
Right. And that's what you need from a gym. And they will tell you, if you come to them and say you want to fight, they will tell you, no, not yet. You're not ready for it. We're not going to let you fight yet. If you do fight, you're not going to be fighting.
And the thing is, a good coach will say no. A good coach will say no. Because a coach who just wants to take your money will send you in up against whoever without any basis. But a good coach will tell you, you are or you are not ready. But Daemar Harleston is definitely ready. He's fought in white-tie kickboxing. He's fought in MMA. And he's ready to go here today for your second bout of Combat Quest 33.
This is our first MMA bout of the night. Let's get it going.
In our second bout this evening, introducing first, fighting out of the Tea-Time blue corner, a mixed martial artist representing Fight Me Combat Sports right here in Fort Myers. A 6-fight veteran, also undefeated in kickboxing. Give it up for Harry Morisset. And fighting out of the Seacraft Water Tiki red corner, a Muay Thai striker representing Futures MMA right here in Fort Myers. Undefeated in MMA with a 1-0 record and undefeated in kickboxing with a 3-0 record. Give a vigilante welcome to Daemar Harleston. Your referee in charge of the action, Jose Laguerre.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've been waiting for this one for a while now. We told you earlier things got a little chippy yesterday. Things got a little chippy earlier on today before this fight. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're underway, round one of action between Harleston and Morisset.
And no ceremonial glove tap.
Trying to go for the takedown immediately. Double leg secures it is Morisset. Morisset controlling the legs of Harleston. Harleston
that's
immediately
what we've learned
looking for
about
special directions.
Morisset is he can wrestle.
Absolutely. I mean, he really took it to Fear and Thorn at the last Combat Quest event. There was two very solid wrestlers kind of showcasing against each other. But right now, Morisset taking it to Daemar Harleston, trying his best to control the wrists. Harleston trying to prop up here on the side, but some shots for good measure there from Morisset. And Morisset trying to secure that double leg for a second time.
Big takedown.
Dumps Harleston on his head.
Beautiful takedown.
Whoa.
Oh, I'm fired up. That's what you love to see.
This place is packed out right now. This room is electric right now for Morisset. I mean, this is a little bit of a local rivalry. I kind of forgot that Fight Me Combat Sports was right here in Fort Myers.
Right, yeah.
And I mean, talk about the fight over the town. Trying to go for the back, but ooh, great job from Harleston to turn into that one. Saved his back.
And Harry just said, I'm going to pick you up and put you right down on the back of your head. What a beautiful takedown that was.
And Harleston seems
there we go.
Like he's just in an uncomfortable spot right now. We're so used to seeing Harleston being much more of a stand-up fighter. We're not used to seeing him much on the ground. And right now, I mean, Morisset's dominating. I mean, there's no other way to put it. 2 takedowns already here in this first round, maintaining solid top position.
Control. And he's landed a couple shots. Yeah, this is his round so far.
And Harleston just attempts to stay in full guard, it seems.
And it looks like Harry's got a little bit of a color up under his eyebrow.
So I want to see these two throw hands. Harleston's probably going to be trying to aiming for that cut above the eye of Morisset. Hands being thrown. Big knee fired there from Harleston, but Morisset looks like he might try to secure that double leg again.
And
Harleston's got to fight it off. 10 seconds.
If he can get one more takedown before the round ends, that'll be huge for
that would really
taking
secure
this
it
round.
for him.
And we see some of the chippiness right there. This is a fight, y'all. You can feel it. If you are in here, you can feel the tension in the room. Half the venue's here for Harry, half the venue's here for Daemar, and it's just feeling it. All the tension that these two fighters have for each other, the crowd is feeling it. It's just electric here, and I hate using that cliche term, but that's the only way to describe it. The electricity is flowing. The hairs on your arms are standing up. Everybody can't stay on their seat. They got to be up on their feet. They want to see somebody get knocked out or choked out. That's how this fight wants to end. And it'll be a disappointment to the fans if it goes to the judges, because that's not how a rivalry like this wants to end.
No, absolutely not. And I mean, the way things have been going so far, it doesn't seem like the judges are going to be necessary. At least I certainly hope not, because that would just be a shame to cap the fight off like that. I mean, so far, things have been real hot from the opening bell. Morisset firmly in control of that first round. And I mean, big ups in the score column right now. 2 takedowns, very, very solid control for a majority of that first round. Let's see how things switch up here in round 2, if any.
Big shot.
Harleston landed that nice right hand, but Morisset was trying to go for that takedown, it looks like. A little bit tied up right now. Nice knees from the clinch. Morisset trying to fire up his own.
And both these guys are fighters, y'all. They just here doing what they love to do.
Check that head kick. And I could tell Harleston just wants to tee off, but he can't be overzealous. Try to secure that double leg, up and down. It's Harleston.
Oh, I'm feeling good.
I mean, this is the 3rd takedown now for Morisset. We were talking about the judges earlier. If it goes there right now,
that's
Morisset's
big
in the
points
lead.
towards Morisset right there.
Landing on some big shots, but he's right in Harleston's corner.
And he's trying to take that back. If he can get around there.
That arm might be in there.
If he can get around
he doesn't have it. He doesn't have it.
If he could just inch his hips over just a little bit more.
He's got to be careful here.
And we're not used to seeing Daemar kind of get controlled this way.
Yeah, no. Is that hand under there? No.
Oh, there we go.
Now it might be.
He doesn't quite have it yet. His chin is still locked in, so he's not quite around that throat.
Harleston's trying to push off here.
But this is a very dangerous place for Daemar to be.
Got about a minute, 15 seconds. Able to get that arm out. I think Harleston's able to live another day, but trying to turn out. Oh, wow.
Full mount.
What a job.
Beautiful transitioning. Beautiful transition work.
Trying. Looks like he might be trying to pull that arm. No.
Big shot right there. Big shot.
20 seconds here in round 2. That arm looks like it's not under the chin, but just on it. Harleston is trying to crank it off. 10 seconds left in the second round.
Wow, what a second round. And, you know, so far, we're not used to seeing Daemar get controlled like this. This has been Harry's fight. He's really come in and forced his will. You know, he's prepared to stand up a little bit, but when he gets tired of that, all right, let me just take you down and really impose myself on top of you.
Right. I mean, this has just been, it's really been like a wrestling clinic. I mean, you saw the takedown offense. I mean, just the cleanest takedowns that we've seen all night. But on top of that, the transition game on the ground was just textbook. I mean, there's really no other way to put it.
He's really taken his bodily man meat and putting it where he wants to put it on Daemar. Daemar's been smothered by Harry's body man meat all over him this entire fight. And there's nothing he can really do to get that man meat off of him.
No, there's not. There's not a lot you can do.
Once somebody's got their man meat all over you, there's not much you can do other than knock them out to get their man meat off of you. And Harry's feeling good. You can see him right now. He's feeling good. He knows those first 2 rounds are his. He just has to continue to do what he's done, and this is his fight.
Absolutely. I mean, Morisset looks like he knows that too. There we go. This is the 3rd and final round here between Harleston and Morisset.
Let's see if anything changes for this round right now. Daemar's
like
really teeing up on him. And it looks like Harry's down for it. And I mean, that's interesting, you know. There's 2 ways to think about it. There's 2 ways to think about it. I've won these first 2 rounds. I can have a little bit more fun in this 2nd round, in this 3rd round. But the counter to that is, if you have a little too much fun, you leave yourself open and you can get slept on.
Right. It seemed for a moment like Harleston had that sense of urgency, but it's just not there. And just as I'm saying that,
he knows he's getting, he wants to take it back down.
He can't let this happen. He can't let that happen. He cannot let that happen. And it does. That's another takedown. That's, I believe, 4 or 5 now.
That's 4 takedowns in 3 rounds. That's impressive. And I'm pretty sure he's batting 1,000 for takedowns. I don't think he's been stuffed yet.
No, has a 100% success rate. And I mean, right now, it's more of the same of the 1st and 2nd round. Harleston starts off with a little confidence, but then, I don't know, it just seems like Morisset, when he wants to have his way, he does.
Yeah. Oh, and he might be looking for a guillotine choke right here.
Harleston trying to stand up, able to get to his feet.
Oh.
Gets his own takedown for once.
And I think this is just, Harry's tired. He's put in a lot of work, putting his man meat where he wants it to, and that takes a lot out of you. And so now Daemar feels good.
Daemar wants him to stand up. And I feel like that wasn't the right choice there. I mean, going right back down to the ground. It seems like he's jumping into the pit with an anaconda.
Well, and so here's the thing. Daemar's lost those first 2 rounds, so he has to finish this fight.
He's starting to tee off a little bit, but...
And if he wants to get some kind of chokehold or into a dominant position, I was going to say he had to get his leg out of there.
30 seconds here in the 3rd round.
And let's see what happens. I mean, this is where the fight can be won or lost.
15 seconds. Caught him with the uppercut. And this one looks like it might go. He's got 10 seconds left, and they're going to bang. Tries to throw the head kick, narrowly misses. This crowd is going absolutely berserk. What a fight.
What a fight. What a fight.
Wow.
Beautiful fighting, beautiful wrestling, and just control from Harry Morisset. That third round was something else, and if that could have... I think, again, it was a little too late for Daemar, but what a fight.
Wow, I mean, speechless right now. That was a war. I mean, I'm disappointed at the fact that this went to decision, I'm sure, just like everybody else is, including the fighters. But, I mean, nonetheless, an instant classic that these two put on here today. smile on his face. Seems like he knows he has this one in the bag, but it's up to the judges at the end of the day.
It's up to the judges, so we'll have to see. But if I had, it would be 2-1 Harry, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you as well.
He might need a couple stitches for that, that cut he's got on.
Nice little gash over his eye there.
And like I said, that was just very uncharacteristic to see Daemar get controlled like that.
Right.
Not just Daemar, but anybody from Futures to get controlled like that.
Right.
And we see them just throwing here like they're ready to just...
That was right at the end of the fight, those last 10 seconds. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's send you up now for the official announcement of our winner.
After 3 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision. Your winner, fighting out of the blue corner, Harry Morisset.
What a well-earned win. I mean,
and the good thing to see is that although words were exchanged and they had to be separated today and yesterday, both of these men are sharing the respect of combat, of the respect of fighting, the respect of fighters between each other here, in the middle of the cage, taking a picture together. I mean, that's big.
and that's what's beautiful about this sport is you can have all the beef in the world, and then once it's time to go, it's up to you to settle that beef. You know, if there's no, you don't have to rely on a receiver dropping a pass or dishing out the right pass and missing a shot or something like that. You know, it's you versus them, and at the end of the day, whoever wins, wins, and there's nothing else to say about that.
No, absolutely. I mean, both of these fighters put on an absolute war, just a battle from beginning to end. And I mean, big congratulations to Morisset on taking that victory away today over a very game Daemar Harleston.
And you know, shout out to our ladies in our fight in the first half of this event. But this is up there. This is going to be
A little bit
competing for fight of the night.
Absolutely. And we're moving things right along, ladies and gentlemen. We have combat jiu-jitsu coming back to us when Benito Rodriguez takes on CJ Muxo in a 130 to 135 pound CJJ matchup.
Our third bout this evening takes place in the Vigilant Combat Jiu-Jitsu Bantamweight division. Introducing first, CJ Musso.
And again, ladies and gentlemen, this is a combat jiu-jitsu matchup, and so this is going to be another slap in the mouth kind of matchup.
Yes, sir. This fight is brought to you by some of our good friends and sponsors here at Vigilant MMA. Sponsors like Seacraft Waterfront Tiki, Tea Time, Battle Buds, and as always, Team Reaper. And here we have CJ Muxo. He's making his way to the cage from Black Tie Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Currently holds a purple belt in the BJJ discipline. But this is combat Jiu-Jitsu, and things are a little bit different.
And now, Benito Rodriguez.
Seems like somebody forgot to send their entrance music in. So we get some Britney Spears.
So, Benito Rodriguez, this is the man they call the legal amigo, making his way to the cage here, representing Warriors Academy Independence. He made the long haul over here from Kansas City, Missouri. The legal amigo was here last at Combat Quest 27. He fought El Rey Devin Flores, actually, which resulted in a draw. It was in a boxing matchup. And he also competed against Felipe Tapia in a boxing matchup at Combat Quest Boxing 1, in which he was victorious. So looking to earn another victory here in Vigilant MMA, but this time in Combat Jiu-Jitsu. Hit Me Baby One More Time is fitted for
In our
CJ
third bout this evening, introducing first, fighting out of the T-Time blue corner, a grappler representing Black Tie BJJ and Fight Me Combat Sports. Returning to the CQ hexagon, give it up for purple belt, CJ Musso. And fighting out of the Seacrest Water Tiki red corner, a Muay Thai striker representing Warriors Academy MMA all the way from KC, Missouri. Give a vigilante welcome to Benito Da Legal Amigo Rodriguez. Your referee in charge, Jose Laguerre.
Again, it's going to be a 1 6-minute round matchup with 2 1-minute overtime rounds if necessary.
Real quick, before this matchup starts, I just want to give a quick shout out to CJ Muxo, actually, who just got engaged to his girlfriend, now fiance. So congratulations to CJ Muxo. Hopefully he can take the victory home back to his fiance and keep her happy that way too.
And if he loses, hopefully she doesn't call off the engagement.
Yeah, hopefully not. But again, congratulations to CJ Muxo. Got big things going on outside of the cage, but right now he's in the cage up against the legal amigo Benito Rodriguez.
Whoa,
so big slaps coming from Rodriguez.
And sometimes I got to remind myself when I'm watching this kind of stuff that it is combat jiu-jitsu,
right.
Because, you know, if that happens in a traditional jiu-jitsu matchup, you're getting disqualified.
For sure. Yeah, if you try that in a regular jiu-jitsu matchup, it's going to turn into an MMA fight.
Yeah, right. And you hear the crowd loving the slaps.
I mean, it's kind of hard not to.
It gets you going. It gets you popping, man.
Just gets the people going.
And nobody knows what it means.
Muxo tries to secure that leg.
Oh, that could be painful.
They both have
that
one.
Could be painful. Does he have it? Does he have it?
The ankle.
That could be
it's
really painful.
It's up to the legal amigo if he taps, but it looks like
he doesn't
Muxo
quite have it, I guess. Oh.
Big palm strikes coming down from the legal
Big
amigo.
Shots.
You know, I realize we got the legal amigo, we've got Big Soy Migo.
And hopefully he's doing well with his recovery. Remember last time we saw him.
An unfortunate shoulder separation.
Yeah.
It was actually here at the Sidney Byrne Davis Arts Center. Big shout out to Big Soy Migo, Jose Montoya. I believe he's back home in Kansas City. He's actually one of the teammates of the legal amigo. So, hey, maybe they form a new tag team.
Wow. Oh.
Muxo's
really had some close submissions.
Muxo's just sticky. It's just once he gets his hands on you, I mean, he just wraps those legs around. It's impossible to get out.
He hasn't been too concerned with slapping the taste out of his opponent's mouth.
Definitely not.
He just wants to get in there and get that submission and get out of there. Because unfortunately, these slaps don't really end this bout. They're just something to really add to it.
Right.
All that really ends it is choking or tapping your opponent out.
Yeah, the only thing that can end it would be a submission. And I think even in the case of a knockout from a palm strike would still cause just a disqualification or no contest. Looks like we got a loose mouthpiece from Muxo. Muxo looks tired here, and I don't blame him.
He's gotten smacked in the face 17 times,
Right.
plus dealing with somebody, you know, putting their man meat all over you. It's tough to come back from.
Another big palm strike.
Oh,
Big palm strikes. Huge palm strikes coming from Deligo Amigo.
The crowd is eating it up.
Muxo trying to use those legs to create some space, but Rodriguez just all over it.
Oh, that's scary. That might be
in there.
That might be it. Yeah, it's in there. That's got to be it.
There's a tap.
There it is.
What a finish from
What a
Deligo
matchup.
Amigo Benito Rodriguez.
Oof, that was a tough one.
Man. I
That
think
was a tough one.
Muxo's gonna have a little bit of a headache in the morning. Hopefully his fiance can massage his shoulders a little bit, help
That
it
was
go
a
away.
tough one to come.
At least he knows he's
deal
got
with.
somebody to go home to. But hey, congrats to Deligo Amigo Benito Rodriguez on securing that victory. I mean, great job, staying patient, using those palm strikes just like CJJ was meant for, finding his spot, taking the back, and securing the choke. Great job.
That was a fun matchup to watch.
All right, let's send you up to the announcer.
Your winner by rear naked choke out of the red corner, Benito Rodriguez.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, from one combat jiu-jitsu matchup to the next, rolling right up, Funky Bones Tyler Jones going the purple belt going up against 4th degree brown belt Mauricio Loyo III in what's going to be an absolute guarantee of a banger of a combat jiu-jitsu matchup. At the very least, we're bound to see some very, very high-level grappling between these two.
It's gonna be exciting. This one is, and all of our, both of our other CJJ fights have been great. So this is just another one.
Our fourth bout this evening takes place in the Vigilant Combat Jiu-Jitsu welterweight division. Introducing first, Tyler Jones.
Say it wasn't you. And there he is, Funky Bones himself, Tyler Jones, hailing from the Windy City, Chicago, Illinois. It's been a long while since we've seen Funky Bones here in the cage. He's been focusing a little bit more on his professional MMA career. Just a quick shout out to Funky Bones making the move up to the pro leagues. Right now he's 1-1 as a professional MMA fighter. He won his debut by knockout in the second round, I do believe. But making his way into the cage for some more, CJJ representing Intercept MMA up in Chicago, Illinois.
And now, Mauricio Loyo.
And Mauricio Loyo has his own entrance music, but he chooses not to listen to it. Legend says that he was listening to Beethoven's Fifth Symphony.
Something like that. Maybe some white noise.
TV static.
Yeah. Sometimes I do that in the gym, y'all. It gets you locked in a different kind of way.
So here we have Mauricio Loyo III. It's been a while since we've seen him. Last, I believe, was at Combat Quest 20. And that was in another CJJ matchup against Keith Hart Jr. And for those of you who are not familiar with the name, Keith Hart Jr. actually won an award for being deemed the most versatile fighter in Vigilant MMA. Mauricio Loyo is a 4th degree brown belt, representing Hard Knocks 365 Gym. And here we go.
In our 4th bout this evening, introducing first, fighting out of the Tea-Time blue corner, a professional mixed martial artist representing Intercept MMA out of Chicago, Illinois, a former Vigilant MMA blue belt, no-gi CJJ champion. Give it up for purple belt, Tyler Funky Bones Jones. And fighting out of the Seacraft Water Tiki red corner, a professional mixed martial artist representing Hard Knocks 365 across Alligator Alley in Miami. Returning to the CQ hexagon, give a vigilante welcome to blue belt, Mauricio El Matador Loyo. Your referee in charge, Jose Laguerre.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, same rules as before. 6 minutes. And here we go. 2 very, very high-level practitioners of jiu-jitsu locking horns in the CJJ cage. Tyler Jones with the orange trunks, Loyo with the black trunks. And just a reminder, I mean, Funky Bones holds a purple belt, Mauricio Loyo closing in on his black belt.
Yeah. Which takes a lot of years of just grinding and really being successful and learning.
It just takes sheer discipline. I mean, to get to that level, I mean, to get to a blue belt or a purple belt is enough in itself.
Yeah.
But to stick it out and hit brown belt level, closing in on that black belt, I mean, that's an accomplishment.
And especially in a sport like jiu-jitsu. I mean, that's a discipline like no other.
Right. First minute has elapsed. Got it a little collar elbow tie up here.
And both guys are still really feeling each other out. And that's one thing with Funky Bones is he might, and I say this in quotations as compared to his opponent, but he might only be a purple belt.
Yeah.
But he is skilled enough to be able to compete with somebody like Mauricio.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, especially somebody who's so well seasoned. I mean, he's competed extensively here in Vigilant MMA, but he's also done, several jiu-jitsu competitions. Also trains in MMA, as we mentioned before. I mean, you can't discount experience on top of that.
And that's a lot of times what happens with these highly skilled, highly technically sound practitioners is not a lot happens until it does.
Right. And when something does happen, it's everything at once.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, with jits, it's a very reactionary sport. It's a very reactionary discipline, so that when you go for something, you better know that what you're going for and know that it can work, or be ready to back out at a moment's notice, because just like that, you can get taken. It can be taken advantage of very quickly.
That could have very easily turned into a guillotine choke, and the fight could have been over right there. But Loyo able to get the head loose.
It's not like wrestling where you want to be shooting the takedowns and really working for it. No, this is like reacting to what your opponent does and what positions they put themselves in to think about how you can take advantage of it. And if you see that, if you notice that with Funky Bones, is a lot of his takedown attempts are coming from having the momentum of his opponent come towards him.
Right.
Whereas with wrestling, you're shooting it. You know what I mean? You're not pulling them into you necessarily. I mean, yeah, you can. There's certain things, and we're just getting deeper and treading deeper waters and getting more technical. There are attempts like that, but for the most part in wrestling compared to jiu-jitsu, you're shooting. In jiu-jitsu, you're waiting for them to come to you.
Right. I mean, there's been times where in these CJJ or BJJ matchups, the bell sounds, timer starts, fighter goes immediately pulls guard and waits for the other to come to him. I mean, I'm actually surprised we didn't see that here today.
Right,
It's very, very a popular strategy to use. 4 minutes have gone by so far, and still not much of an upper hand for either man right now.
And also with these two guys, they're very similarly built.
Right.
And it's another one of those fights, or excuse me, one of those bouts that's very just even all around. Crowd's getting a little ornery, waiting for something to happen.
Right.
And sometimes that's just the unfortunate part of jiu-jitsu and wrestling is can be a little action lacking.
Right.
And it looks like we're probably going to get into those overtime escape attempt rounds.
Right.
And sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles.
And Mauricio Loyo goes for the takedown, trying to secure that leg of Jones, but Jones pushing the head down, not letting him get that momentum to take it. 10 seconds left in regulation time.
And unfortunately, with combat jiu-jitsu, there's no points.
Right.
The only way to win, and in some jiu-jitsu tournaments and stuff and like that, and as well with mat wrestling, is there's points.
Right.
Takedowns, takedown defenses, reversals, stuff like that is points. With this, with combat jits, there's no points. You either choke them out, tap them out, or it gets to this point.
Right. And if you weren't with us for the previous jiu-jitsu matchup that went to overtime, quite simply put, right now, Tyler Jones is going to be going first for the escape attempt. He will have 1 minute to escape. However, if he is to escape faster than 1 minute, then Mauricio Loyo would have to escape quicker than Tyler Jones did to win the matchup. So if Tyler Jones escapes in 30 seconds here, then Mauricio Loyo will have to escape in less than 30 seconds. Otherwise, they both have 1 full minute.
And then if neither one can, it's a draw, and it's almost as if this matchup never happened.
Right. And he's out. And the time, I believe, was 16 seconds.
And that is
that's tough
not
to
a lot
beat.
of time.
Jones writhing a little bit in pain, it looked like. Trying to catch his breath, maybe. All right. So if Jones can hold on for his life for 15 seconds, he'll be declared the victor. However, if Loyo can escape,
and I don't know about y'all, but this is tense for me. I feel like
absolutely.
There's so much riding on this.
He is standing, however, the grip was not broken.
So what was the time?
I don't know what the time was on that. I did not see a timer waiting on the official call. I believe Tyler Jones is the winner. I can't tell. We're gonna find out here in just a moment, though.
So we're just waiting the official decision.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's send you up now to our announcer for the official announcement of your winner.
Your winner by fast escape out of the blue corner, Mauricio Loyo. Oh, no. I apologize.
Excuse him. A little Steve Harvey action.
My apologies. Funky Tyler Jones is the winner.
So next matchup we have, it's our featured bout of the evening. We got Cheesecake coming in here.
Cheesecake Blake Torchon going up against Alec Garza in a 147
Our
pound
fifth
Muay Thai
bout this
kickboxing
evening
bout.
takes place in the Vigilant Muay Thai welterweight division. Introducing first, Blake Torchon.
So do you think he gets Cheesecake after his fights?
I feel like, now listen, Blake Torchon's in fantastic shape. That's got to be his cheat meal. Like, it just can't be anything else. I feel like he eats well, diets, works out, but then it's just the cheesecake that gets him, man. I mean, I can't blame him. I mean, everyone likes cheesecake. So
I'll join him after this if he's going for some cheesecake.
We're going to like Cheesecake Factory
Let's
afterwards.
do it.
Like party of 3. Let's go. Like,
Let's do it. I'm game.
Bad bitches more bad. You should have bought them all ass. Shall I add? Tell me where we at. I put nerves on the map. Now they stuck on your bitch. Did I do that?
And here he comes.
what up, Joe?
Shout out to our photographer, Joe.
Everyone's favorite photographer, Joe Mestas. Make sure you go to joemestasphotography.com. You can find pictures from the event, and you can find you might even see yourself if you're here in the audience. You might see yourself pop up there in some of the photos. But our resident photographer, Joe Mestas. Blake Torchon is one of the most successful competitors that we've had here in Vigilant MMA. I mean, he's been successful in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's been successful in Muay Thai kickboxing. And he's been successful in BJJ on top of that.
And Blake looks excited. He's ready to get in here, do some work, and go get some cheesecake after this.
I mean, cheesecake real late at night.
I'm game for it, y'all.
It's so valuable. I've been searching high and low. And I can tell you one thing. Beautiful big titty, but naked women just don't follow the sky, you know.
And now, Alec Garza.
Alec is another futures cat, so he's gonna have the whole squad with him ready to go. This is gonna be another good matchup.
This is actually going to be another
one of the
another
rivalry
going up against Futures MMA. This is gonna be another hometown rivalry fighting over the turf.
And right now, Fight Me is on top.
Fight Me does have one up on them right now. We're going to see if Alec Garza is able to get the get back for Futures MMA. Alec Garza holds a 3-1 record. Last time we saw him in Vigilant MMA was back at Combat Quest 19. He had a victory over Chris Anthony Daly. Making his way to the cage now, looking ready to go. El Bandolero. That better be his nickname. He's coming out to this classic. El Bandolero, Alec Garza, at least that's what I'm going to call him. Representing Futures MMA, as we mentioned, you see him there. The tradition with Coach Rodriguez, he holds with each fighter before they enter the cage. You can see Aldo Dominguez there in his corner. Dominguez successfully defended his title earlier tonight in Combat Quest Boxing 3, the main event. You also see the young phenom Dante Frigga there alongside him.
What time is it?
Martin.
What time is it?
It's Frigga time.
It's Frigga time, baby.
Alec Garza looks calm and ready, and that's what you need, especially when you're going into the cage against someone like Blake Torchon. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, both fighters are in the cage for your featured bout of the evening. Let's send you up now to our announcer for the official introductions.
In our featured bout this evening, introducing first, fighting out of the tea time blue corner, a mixed martial artist representing Fight Me Combat Sports right here in Fort Myers. With an impressive record of 3-1 in kickboxing and 5-2 as an MMA fighter, give it up for the former Vigilant Muay Thai super welterweight interim champion Blake Cheesecake Torchon. And fighting out of the Seacraft Water Tiki red corner, a Muay Thai striker representing Futures MMA right here in Fort Myers. With an impressive record of 4-1, give a vigilante welcome to Alec, the Ninja Garza.
The Ninja, fitting.
Your referee in charge, Jose Laguerre.
I call him El Bandolero. Just because of the song.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
Anyways. How do you say ninja in Spanish?
Ninja.
Works for me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are underway, or about to be underway, for your featured bout of the evening. Blake Torchon in the blue, Alec Garza in the black and red.
So we have some confusion about whether or not this is a title fight.
Yeah, this is the featured bout, but it's not a title fight. Therefore, it should only be 3 rounds. Yeah, looks like there was a bit of a mix-up.
And for those watching at home,
it looks like we got confirmation. Sorry to cut you off, but it's going to be 3 2-minute rounds. It's not a championship bout. You were saying before?
But yeah, so you train for 3 minutes. And it doesn't seem like a lot from the outside looking in, those extra 2 rounds. But it is a lot, and training for 3 rounds rather than 5 and it changes your whole game up.
For sure.
Know, and you train. It's a big deal to come in and think one thing and be told another. So we understand why they had to confirm everything.
Right. And, I mean, so far some rapid fire action to open things up here between Torchon and Garza. Some knees firing off from both sides.
Big uppercut from Cheesecake, and then Ninja turned around and gave him another one.
Both landing knees here in this exchange. This clinch isn't doing anyone any favors right now. Can imagine seeing a break here in a second if we don't get some action. Yep. And I mean, shout out to our official. He's been doing such a solid job.
He's pulling Iron Man duty, yeah. Big shot.
Oh, nice body kick lands from Torchon.
He ate a couple just then.
Nice body kick there from Garza. And at the 10-second mark for the first round, both fighters throwing knees here in this exchange. Right hook from Torchon. Big knee lands. 2 again. And that's the end of the first round. I mean, it's been rapid fire action from the opening bell. And Coach Rodriguez looking not too happy with Garza right now. But you can see here, both fighters were landing in the exchange, in the clinch here. You can see Garza throwing knees and Torchon throwing some right back. Both fighters landing punches coming out of the clinch, and both of them firing knees. You can see Torchon landing 2 consecutive ones there. And we're going to have to see what the second round is going to bring us so far. I mean, Torchon seems like he's a little bit more ahead in the first round. It seems like he's leading it a little bit more, taking control a little bit. But this second round, we're going to have to see if Garza bounces back, get some respect back. And I mean, this is the featured bout, guys. We still have 2 more awesome fights coming up after this. In your co-main event, we have a title eliminator matchup. The winner from that will go on to face our current 135-pound champion. And in the 170-pound division for your main event, the Ronin Malcolm Wallace defends his title against Tate Johnson. But right now, Blake Torchon and Alec Garza beginning round 2 in just a moment here. Cage doors are sealed, and we are underway with round 2 of action. Garza immediately firing out the gate and landing too. Ooh, nice body kick. Landed one as Torchon as well. Both fighters going for a team kick, cancels out.
Yeah, that was literally right at the exact same time. That was funny. We live in a simulation, y'all.
Big spinning back fist from Torchon. Torchon throwing those elbows. Now, this is what I love about full rules Muay Thai. I mean, the elbows included. We have the punches, the kicks. It gives you a little bit of everything.
You're right.
And I mean, we've seen it before. The headgear is an option when it comes to the Muay Thai kickboxing. It's up to the fighters, and I love it when the fighters decide to forego it because it just brings you know, the more reality of the fight.
Big elbow, nicely done.
Garza's starting to look a little bit tired. Torchon firing off the knees. Garza with one. Both fighters throwing knees here in the exchange, trying to break the clinch. Torchon with a clean uppercut, another knee.
And it looks like the ref is ready to, I was going to say be ready to break it up, but the bell's going to break it up.
Yeah. I mean, Torchon has just been going and going since that first bell sounded. I mean, both of these fighters have been keeping up the pace. The things are going really, really quickly, but Garza is just not impressing his coach right now. Coach Rodriguez is real upset. And I mean, right now, I don't want to say it's been a stalemate, but the second round was very reminiscent of the first one. It seemed like Torchon, once he gets his hold on Garza, gets him up against the cage, he just starts teeing off in that clinch, and Garza just hasn't been able to do anything about it. He can't throw punches, he can't throw knees. He's doing his best to try to throw what he can, but for every one knee that he fires off, Torchon's landing 4 more.
Right.
So when it comes down to the score column right now, Torchon's most likely up in the judges' scorecards because of the inactivity from Garza. All right, round 3. Here we go, third and final round between Torchon and Garza. Garza caught him on the circle out, Torchon. Tried to go for a big kick, but Torchon saw that coming, blocked it with that left hand and fired off with the right. Nice body kick there from Torchon. Teep for good measure. Body kick again.
Torchon just landed like 13 straight strikes.
It's hard for me to keep up right now calling this fight because Torchon is landing every strike you can think of and keeping this fight going. Torchon in the clinch now. And this is the same thing we saw in round 1 and round 2. Once Garza gets back into that corner, it seems like he almost kind of clams up.
And so that's, I know we mentioned it a lot about the difference in appearances, and but that's where some of it comes in. You see Torchon a much better built, muscular-wise.
More of an athletic build.
And so that's where that
elbow
comes
lands
into.
Clean for Garza.
That missed, just narrowly missed. But that's where that difference in muscular development comes in. You know, it's a different kind of weight holding. You know, press. They might weigh the same, but it's very different. Different body compositions. I mean, we saw you know, something like that earlier. I believe it was when Aldo Dominguez took on Tyler Kent. I mean, we saw the difference. It was the same weight class, but such a difference in body styles. Right. And so, someone with more muscle on them is able to press their strength. They're just physically, naturally going to be stronger than somebody at the same size with less muscle. And it looks like this, and Torchon is teeing off right now. I'm actually surprised that Garza's still on his feet. A lot of clean shots landed there. That's going to be the end of the fight. 3 rounds have elapsed. You see a little bit of a replay. This is when Torchon really started going after Garza. Started catching him even when he was circling out, called a clean right. And it looks like Fight Me is going to walk away with the Fort Myers Championship today. It looks like they will. I mean, what a showing from Blake Torchon here in the matchup. There's still more to come, ladies and gentlemen. We still have your co-main event and main event to go. But for now, we're collecting the judges' scorecards.
Torchon looks like he's having a lot of fun. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's send you up now to our announcer, Kelvin Garcia, for the official announcement of our winner.
After 3 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision. Your winner, out of the blue corner, Blake Torchon.
He came in and said, I'm going to get this dub and I'm going to get my cheesecake. Nothing's going to stop me from doing that.
What do you think his favorite kind of cheesecake is?
I think he's the type to just give me a plain style cheesecake, you know. His name isn't cookies and cream cheesecake or white chocolate raspberry cheesecake.
You got a point.
His name is cheesecake.
You got a point. You got a point. I don't know. Something about it, I just feel like he likes a good Oreo cheesecake.
Who doesn't? Terrorists. That's who don't.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, with your featured bout out of the way, we're going to keep things rolling right on to your co-main event. And this is a title eliminator bout in the 135-pound division. Devin Pegg is going to go up against Elijah Morales, and that's going to be coming your way in just a few moments. Ladies and gentlemen, in the meantime, do not forget to check out VigilantMMA.co, VigilantMMA.co for info on our next Vigilant MMA event, whether it's Combat Quest Boxing, Jiu-Jitsu, Combat Quest 34, whatever it is going to be, you can catch the information there at VigilantMMA.co.
Our 6th bout this afternoon takes place in the Vigilant MMA Bantamweight division, and this is a title eliminator. Introducing first, Devin Pegg.
And here we have Devin Manu the Great Pegg. Devin Pegg is representing Fight Me Combat Sports. He currently holds a 6-1 record in MMA. Taking a look at his record, 4 out of 6 of his victories came by way of rear naked choke. The quickest one happened in 41 seconds of the first round, and his second matchup ever back in January of 2023. Manu the Great is the former Leo Code 135-pound MMA champion, former Street Beefs 145 and 155-pound MMA champion. He lives by 2 mottos. Greatness comes from within, and hard work beats talent. Out of all the accomplishments, he says his biggest accomplishment is being a dedicated father to his 2-year-old daughter. And in all of this, he's preparing for the arrival of baby number 2 that's on the way. So, I mean, he's fighting for a lot more than himself. He's fighting for his daughters. And he lives by those 2 mottos. Greatness comes from within, and hard work beats talent. We're going to see him make his Vigilant MMA debut today, but he is no stranger to the fight game. Devin Manu the Great Pegg.
I mean, that's a hell of a resume he's got. You know,
absolutely.
He might be the real deal. But again, look at the 2 schools that are fighting in this fight.
Hey, look at that again. Fight Me Combat Sports and Futures MMA are just going at it tonight. And I mean, right now, Fight Me Combat Sports is up 2-0. Futures is gonna have to pull one out of the bag here.
And now, Elijah Morales.
And by Futures MMA, I mean this man right here, Elijah Morales. Futures MMA isn't getting much of a break today. I think they've had the last 3 fights.
I mean, by the end of this, Coach Rodriguez is going to be as blown up as his fighters are. I think with all the slaps that Coach Rodriguez is having to throw, he's throwing up as much striking as a normal fight would have.
Coach Rodriguez has more significant strikes tonight than some of the fighters, but that's all right. Elijah Morales is making his way to the cage with the future team in tow. Elijah Morales has had 9 MMA fights. He's currently 6-3 as a fighter, and he's had a victory in every way you can think of. He's had knockouts, TKOs, submissions, decisions. He's done it all. He's a very, very well-rounded fighter. He can tap you out, he can knock you out, and he can get the judge's decision. He can outperform you during the whole fight. He knows how to make it happen. This man right here, Elijah Morales, did not came to play. Do not forget, ladies and gentlemen, whoever wins this fight tonight will go on to compete for the 135-pound MMA championship.
In this, our co-main event of the evening, introducing first, fighting out of the Teton blue corner, a literal street beast legend and former lightweight and featherweight double champ, also a 2-promotion bantamweight champion, representing Fight Me Combat Sports right here in Fort Myers. Give it up for the number 3 Florida ranked and 16th ranked U.S. Southeast bantamweight Devin Manu Pegg. And fighting out of the Seacrest Water Tiki red corner, a Muay Thai striker representing Futures MMA right here in Fort Myers. Undefeated with an impressive record of 6-3. Give a vigilante welcome to the number 6 ranked Florida and 24th ranked in the U.S. Southeast bantamweight, Elijah Morales. Your referee in charge, Jose Laguerre.
Shout out Ref Jose, been doing it right down the middle. He's pulling this at 1 hour, and he's as tired as the fighters are going to be.
I can only imagine. He's been calling fights since 4 o'clock this afternoon. I mean, I've got tired just calling him, and he's in there with them. So here we go, opening up the co-main event, Devin Pegg versus Elijah Morales. Pegg is in the blue corner, Morales in the red, and immediately throwing hands, both fighters. Pegg going for the takedown, trying his best to secure it, but Morales snuffs it. Big hammer fist coming down from Morales. Trying his best to secure, not able to get that double leg. Huge takedown there from Manu the Great, able to secure the double leg, but left his head out. Morales does have it. Okay, he's able to get that out. Oh, someone is leaking blood right now. I believe that's coming from Manu the Great's nose.
And that's what the crowd loves to see.
Trying to get the neck here.
And Manu's got to be careful.
He's got the guillotine, but it's not all the way in there. He's bleeding a lot from his nose.
You good, baby? You good? You good?
It's hard to tell. I think there's a cut above his eyebrow. There's blood everywhere right now. And this is only the first round. And that guillotine might be in there. He's cranking that guillotine. Manu's not giving it up, though. Manu's giving a thumbs up. He's giving a thumbs up.
All right.
I love this right now. He's giving a thumbs up. Manu is in there. He gives a thumbs up. He's still in it.
I mean, that's one way to let the ref know you're okay.
There he is. He's out. What a way to stay in it. What a warrior. Now, Garza. Excuse me. Elijah Morales has got to be wondering what he's got to do to put this beast away. Manu the Great is game.
And that's going to be tough to deal with this cut moving forward because that's right where your eyesight is. You know, it's right above your eye. It's going to throw everything off.
"20 seconds left in the first round."
That's so impressive. You're getting choked out and you're just thumbs up. I'm good to go.
I have a new favorite fighter, guys. I'm sorry,
that was fun.
Wow.
And the doctors are definitely going to come and check out this cut once this round is over, just to make sure he can continue on. And he's having fun.
Need I remind you, ladies and gentlemen, this is only the first round.
And let's see. And I don't really know when the cut happened.
I think it actually happened in the very first exchange that we saw. Because right after that exchange, he went for that double leg takedown. Once they were on the ground, he was already leaking. So it had to be from the opening exchange of blows.
And let's
must
see.
have just been a nail that
and
caught
there
him.
you see the thumbs up, letting the referee know we are good to go.
That is so gangster. That's gangster if I ever seen it.
That's why they call him Manu the Great, right?
I mean, wow. Looks like they were able to get some of the bleeding to stop for now for Manu.
But it's going to take one shot and then it's going to be right back open.
But I mean, if we learned anything from that first round, he doesn't care. If I get another thumbs up, I'm going to pop huge.
That was a fun first round if I've ever seen one.
And here we go. And here we go, round 2 of action in your co-main event. Pegg versus Morales. Pegg with a big body kick that lands square.
I don't even feel like it's fair to call him by his shoot name now. He's Manu.
He's Manu the Great.
He's Manu the Great.
He's Manu the Great for sure.
To be literally leaking blood like that, getting choked
out and still throw up a
thumbs up.
I love it.
Yeah.
And if Manu ever wants to get out of the MMA game, professional wrestling's waiting for him.
Right.
I mean, an entertainer through and through, but nonetheless a fighter and a warrior is Manu the Great.
Right to the jaw, right to the jaw.
Sometimes I got to stop myself from throwing out advice when I'm on commentary. Because, I mean, obviously, watching from an outsider's point of view, you can see stuff that the fighter inside can't necessarily see. And so you can give them advice. And I'm sure a lot of our fans watching at home are giving that couch advice.
Yelling at their TV.
Right. And so it's hard for me on commentary to hold that back.
Hey, another big takedown for Manu the Great. That's 2 takedowns for Manu.
But so the issue is he keeps his head on the outside, and that leaves him unable to move and advance position because he's being locked into that spot.
Morales doing his best to, looks like he wants to stand up, but.
Oh, nice reversal.
Nice reversal there. Great job taking half mount.
And he kept the head. That's what's impressive. That's what's important.
Wow.
You see, he kept the head through
Big
that
shots
reversal.
to the body. One minute in round 2. And Morales is doing a great job right now maintaining that top position, but Manu needs to get out of there.
Manu still does have those 2 takedowns, so that's something that he's got going for him.
For
And
sure.
as far as the stand-up, it's been pretty even, if you ask me.
Right.
So right now, this fight could really go either way, but I don't know. First round, I think you got to give it to Manu. This one could go either way.
I mean, it's just so hard to gauge because we saw Morales in pretty firm control for a good amount of that first round too with the submission attempts, even though Manu was shaking it off. Oh, and his neck is open.
He's got to tuck that chin.
He was able to get out of there. He cannot let him pass there. And he got saved by the bell, it seems.
And this is a fight. And Manu's leaking still.
You saw the replay of that huge takedown there for Manu the Great. And, you know, this is where we saw he was in danger. Looked like he was going to get another thumbs up. He gave the thumbs up when he was going for the rear naked choke. Oh, man. But nonetheless, this has been an absolute battle. Ethan Goff is the current 135-pound MMA champion. However, I believe he's moved on to the professional world, so I believe they'll be fighting for an interim championship. However, either way, whoever that other competitor is going to be needs to look out. Because whoever walks out of this cage at the end of this fight is the winner is a dangerous man.
I mean, either one of them walking out, both of them are still dangerous men. We've seen that.
100%. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are underway with round 3 of your co-main event. Devin Manu the Great Pegg versus Elijah Morales.
Manu's talking this whole time. And
goes to that big right hand. Morales is going to try to defend that takedown because if Manu secures it, that'll be the 3rd one.
There it goes.
Taking him for a little ride.
Boom.
Huge takedown. That was a little bit of a scary landing for Morales. His left arm was kind of underneath him when he fell. But nonetheless, Manu the Great getting some control right now, at least attempting to. Elijah Morales doing a great job. Oh, a little overzealous. He lost it. He got too high up on the back and slipped right off. This is where Manu the Great can capitalize.
Manu, make it count. Make it count.
And fortunately for Morales, he's right there next to his team. So he's able to just sit there and listen. They're seeing everything that's happening, and they can translate it directly to him, so he can just listen and put that into work.
Looks like that cut might have opened up again for Manu. I'm starting to see some blood flow. I mean, where do you go in this situation? You're Manu. It seems like
Manu
he has a little
just
bit
needs
of control,
to stick to what he's doing.
He might be able to secure himself another takedown here if he sweeps that leg. Big shots there from Morales, but Manu the Great threw some right back.
And that looked like from Manu, it was just pure instinct to throw those.
Right. And got messy with that kick.
He's tired.
Morales could have made him pay for that. Oh, it's a big shot landing for Morales, but Manu the Great going for the body lock.
I mean, smart by Manu.
He's trying to get the chin, but doesn't have it. His arm is in on that lock, so he's not in danger just yet, but he does have to be careful what he does next. And I don't blame him. He's lost a lot of blood. This is the end of the third round just about. He's giving it his all. The last 10 seconds, they're just throwing. Wow.
What a fight.
What a fight.
That fight could go either way, honestly.
We're going to have to see where the judges' scorecards lie. But one hell of a fight. Here you can see the replay. What a fight. I mean, from the very, very beginning, Manu the Great has been losing blood at a pretty rapid pace and still managed to stay on his 2 feet and fight this one all the way through. No matter the decision at the end of this fight, he needs to be proud of that for sticking to it. And on top of that, Morales put on an amazing showing here today. I mean, did a really great job overcoming adversity with those takedowns, doing his best to try to make the best of the situation. Let's send you up now to our announcer so we can get the official decision for your winner.
After 3 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision. Your winner, fighting out of the red corner, Elijah Morales.
So, big congratulations to Elijah Morales. I personally wouldn't have called it a unanimous decision, but a decision nonetheless. Congratulations to Elijah Morales on getting his victory today over the very, very game, Manu the Great. And for any MMA matchmakers out there that want a fighter that's going to put on the show, you should take a look at Devin Manu the Great Pegg, because from that opening bell, he was an absolute star of the show. I mean, what can you say? Toughing it out through a lot of blood loss, through a cut very, very early on in the fight. I think he got cut legitimately 5 seconds into the fight.
Yeah.
And I mean, wow, just overall a great job by both of these fighters. Congratulations to Elijah Morales for taking that victory back home to Futures MMA, and they got one over on Combat Sports, on Fight Me Combat Sports. But now, ladies and gentlemen, it's the fight that we've been waiting for all night. It's time for the 175-pound title bout when your Ronin, Malcolm Wallace, defends his title against Tate Johnson, and that's coming up in just a moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we're gearing up for our main event, I want to go ahead and introduce you guys to one of the coaches over at Warriors Academy Independence. Give us just a moment. I think we have a little bit of difficulty on the microphone. We're going to get back to you in just a moment. Sorry about that, brother. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as I was saying before, just wanted to introduce one of the coaches from Warriors Academy Independence. I wanted to welcome you from the long haul over there in Missouri.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Of course.
I'm really excited about this main event. Malcolm Wallace is legit, but Tate Johnson is too, so I think it's going to be a real good fight.
No, absolutely. I mean, we've been waiting for this one for a long time. I mean, Malcolm Wallace is undefeated. We've seen what he's done here at the Sidney Byrne Davis Arts Center. Knockout artist, it seems like. I mean, but he's going up against another undefeated fighter in Tate Johnson. So they both got a little bit to, you know, to go up against tonight.
I think this one's going to be a clash of styles, man. You know, Malcolm, he's a real good striker.
Absolutely.
I want to see what he can do with this kid's wrestling. This kid is a very, very good grappler. I really, truly think that Malcolm has what it takes.
Right.
So I'm kind of excited to see where he goes from here. You know, hopefully this is his last amateur fight, and he goes to the pro scene. So
this,
I'm
our
really
7th and final bout of the evening, takes place in the Vigilant MMA welterweight division. Introducing first, Tate Johnson.
So here we have Tate Johnson. Tate Johnson's representing Maximus Boxing Gym right now, undefeated 3-0. His first 2 victories came by decision. However, most recently he got a win back in August of 2023 that came by knockout in 19 seconds of the first round. Currently ranked number 4 in the state of Utah, and is currently ranked number 29 in the United States Western region, which includes over 9 states. So very highly ranked fighter. He's experienced. He knows how to finish a fight, but he also knows how to outperform and get that decision in the end. I mean, what do you see in this fighter that's going to be maybe a challenge for the Romans?
What I see is I'm hoping that he's got that pressure that is going to get right up in Malcolm Wallace's face, not going to back up. I hope that he's relentless with the wrestling, because I think that that's a hole that he can expose.
Malcolm Wallace.
As I said, I haven't got to see Malcolm grapple a lot.
Right.
I know he's legit. I know he's real good.
Right.
Clearly, he comes from one of the best gyms out here in Florida.
Absolutely. Now everybody rise
Yeah,
for the
everybody
king
rise.
of Vigilant. Listen, he is the king of Vigilant. He's done it all here. He's taken everybody out. He's looking to do it again. Malcolm, the Ronin Wallace, one of the greatest, if not the greatest man we've ever seen to step into a Vigilant cage. And everybody here is on their feet awaiting the arrival. He's ready. He's putting the work. Like always, he's looking to continue his win streak. He's looking to continue to knock out, continue to come out and show why he is the GOAT of Vigilant.
Yeah, this kid's got it all, man. He can do it. So I really am excited to see what he does with this challenge tonight. I thought in his last fight when he fought Alex Llanos that Llanos was going to give him some problems.
Right.
And it ended up being really easy for him. So I'm really excited to watch him tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen the Ronin go up against a lot of challenging opponents. We've seen him go up against opponents bigger than him. We've seen him in evenly sized matchups, and every single time he just seems to knock him down. Right now, Malcolm Wallace is undefeated, 5-0. His last victory came in his title defense over Alex Llanos, as you mentioned, back at Combat Quest 30. That was in a second-round stoppage. Right now in the state of Florida, he's ranked number 1 overall as a fighter. And if you take a look at the United States Southeastern region, there's 736 names on that list in that region. Malcolm Wallace is number 6 on that entire list.
And that is underselling how good this man is.
Absolutely.
He's got the beautiful classic white gloves on, representing how clean he is when it comes to his striking ability. Fresh braids, fresh fade. He always comes in looking good, feeling good, and always performing good. Representing his family, representing his gym better than anybody else could. This is the man. Everybody needs to pay their respect to him. Everybody needs to stand up. This man is coming in to perform like he always does.
Yes, sir, I agree with that. You know, he comes from a family of fighters, and his dad's his head coach. You know, if he comes out there and he doesn't perform, it's almost like he disappoints.
Right.
You know, I feel that, and you know, I see a lot of talent in this kid. I think he's one of the next prospects. I think he'll definitely be in the UFC. You know, like 2 or 3 years.
And so the thing I've learned about Malcolm from talking to him, from watching him, and with his family is, if it's not that first round knockout, that first round finish, that second round finish, he underperformed. That's the perfection that his family expects from him, that he expects from himself. It's not outside pressure that's put on him. It's that internal pressure that he puts on himself. That's what he takes into this fight game. That's what he looks to do every single time. And I'm sure it's going to be a lot of the same tonight. Obviously, everybody listening and everybody here knows who's my pick for this fight. I'm not going to pick against the GOAT here. There's no reason to pick against him. He's Muhammad Ali. He's George St. Pierre. He's Conor McGregor. He is the GOAT for a reason, and he's going to come in and continue to do it.
I hope he continues to reign tonight, man. As I said, I've been a fan of him since I saw him fight the last time I was out here. I specifically asked to commentate this fight because I think this kid has it. He has everything, you know. The biggest thing that I'm seeing right now, I'm an elite striker myself. So watching him strike, he's fluent, he's smooth, he's got the footwork, he knows his range. On top of that, as an athlete, he's extremely confident, but as a human, he's extremely humble.
Right.
You know, and for me as a fighter, and also me as a coach, and then lastly me as a fan, I absolutely love that. That's what I want to see out of all my fighters, and that's what I really hope to see out of him tonight.
Right, and so that's the thing. He's humble outside of the cage. Once he gets in there,
it's a whole
he
different
knows
animal.
he's the man.
He knows
it
show. Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's send you up now for the official announcement of your main event.
In this, our main event of the evening, introducing first, fighting out of the Tea-Time blue corner, a striker representing Modern Boxing Gym all the way from Salt Lake City, Utah, with an undefeated record of 3-0. Give it up for the number 4 ranked welterweight in Utah, Tristan Tate Johnson.
Talk about coming into enemy territory, right?
Yes, sir, but those boos might be motivating.
And this champion needs no introduction. Fighting out of the Seacraft Water Tiki red corner, a Ronin Jitsu fighter representing Futures MMA right here in Fort Myers. Undefeated with a perfect 5-0 record. The reigning, defending, vigilant MMA welterweight king. Give a vigilante welcome to the number 1 ranked Florida and number 6 ranked in the U.S. Southeast, the Ronin, Malcolm Wallace.
You can tell who the crowd favorite is.
Absolutely. And
your referee in charge, Jose Laguerre.
We were talking earlier about what kind of pressure it puts on a young fighter to have an undefeated record. We were mentioning earlier in the night in Combat Quest Boxing 3, the main event was the young Aldo Dominguez, who is a 10-0 record, now 11-0. But does that put a different kind of pressure and expectation on the fighter? Things are opening up here between the
things I'm looking at right here, you know, as a fighter myself and as a coach, is that head position, and also see him working for that underhook. He's doing a really good job here with the pressure.
And Malcolm is good at forcing himself, forcing his will onto his opponent.
But you see what I was talking about by the pressure that Tate can bring. He actually does have pretty good stand-up, and he's a very good counter wrestler. Good head kick.
There, he checked there, and
beautiful
body
return.
kick answered back. And Wallace still seems calm. We don't see him very much get flustered.
This is definitely the fireworks fight that I was looking for, guys.
100%.
And Malcolm's taken a couple shots already, if you've noticed. And
but he's been wearing them well. It seems like he's been doing all right. He's still circling out, tries to secure the takedown.
Good
beautiful
takedown.
double leg.
Beautiful. Very beautiful takedown.
Let's see where he's able
now
to
let's
go
see if he
from
can
here.
keep him there.
Yep. Tries to.
Tate works up to his feet, looking very, very good.
And
back down he
takedown.
goes.
That's going to be 2 takedowns for Wallace consecutively.
I'm not sure what the amateur rules are here in Florida. Can they drop elbows from top position?
No, sir.
No elbows for amateurs here in Florida.
The only elbows that are allowed in full rules, Muay Thai.
Okay, perfect.
Yes,
perfect.
sir.
But like you were saying, you wanted to see what Malcolm could do as far as his wrestling goes against somebody like Tristan Tate.
He's looking beautiful right now.
Right, he's looking like the better wrestler, honestly.
You can definitely tell that both these guys are very experienced on the ground. The things that I'm seeing right now is from Tate, he was already looking for that leg lock, looking to roll out underneath and try to get the back. He clearly didn't get it.
Huge hammer fist there.
Good
and
shots.
look at the transition work by Malcolm.
You can tell that he drills that on the bag and on the training partner. Probably 7 days a week.
I mean, they practically live in the gym over there at Inferno MMA, and I can't blame them when you're putting out results like this.
He needs to watch out for that armbar, though.
Right, he does.
Can't get too overzealous now.
He's got such good top pressure. Now, what I want to see out of Tate is using that underhook to get back up to his feet, just like he just did.
Yeah, I mean, transition, see if he can get a guillotine there. It doesn't look like the arm is fully secured, but he may be able to work something from here. Wallace is just the epitome of calm in the middle of destruction.
Yeah,
though.
he's calm in chaos. Something I coach to my guys is to stay calm in chaos no matter how the fight's going.
Right.
And he is doing it perfectly. The fight started off very hot.
Nice left hand.
And then he stayed perfectly calm knowing that this kid was going to come out trying to make a name out of him.
Big right-left combo lands cleanly for the Ronin. And it looks like we got some blood coming from the nose. Oh, and it looks like he's down.
Yep.
And this might be it.
That's
and
it.
there's the stoppage from the Ronin. And still, your 170-pound champion of Vigilant MMA, the Ronin Malcolm X Wallace, unstoppable,
Still
undefeated, 6-0.
Undefeated 6-0 and made it look easy.
Made it look easy. Controlled it from the moment the fight started.
Barely even breathing heavy.
That's crazy that he's in that good a shape, that he's not even breathing heavy when he was in a firefight in the first 30 seconds. That is crazy.
Wow. And I mean, the champion making quick work here of the main event.
And y'all,
wow.
This is a common sight here in Vigilant MMA. Whenever the Ronin steps into this cage, he's always on top. Whenever the fight's over, he's sitting on top of this cage because he just came in and performed every single time. It's not a metaphor. He sits on top every single time.
Every single time, he brings the victory back home to Crew Wallace, making the Inferno and Futures family proud. I mean, you can hear the 239 erupting on their feet right now for your champion.
One thing I'd absolutely love to see out of Malcolm is see what he could do on the road. You know, he does great here in his hometown.
Right.
He's a phenom. He's a real good fighter. I want to see what he can do on the road.
That's very true.
And the nice thing is, you know, I come from Kansas City.
Right.
I haven't had a lot of matchmaking connections there.
Right.
There's a lot of guys there that I think could test him, but I don't think they can beat him.
Right.
I think this kid probably is the best in the U.S. right now, and that's why I wanted to come down here and make sure I try to commentate one of his fights.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a pleasure having you with us for the fight. We appreciate you joining us. But, I mean, Malcolm Wallace, it seems like every time he comes out here, he just does not disappoint. He's taken victories by KO almost every single time, making quick work. But just as you were saying, he's here at home. You can only imagine, I mean, his opponent, Tate Johnson, made the haul over here from Utah to be here for this fight. Right. So you can only imagine if Malcolm has to go across country for a fight, does that change his mentality? Does that change his routine? What is he going to do and react to that?
Exactly, and that's what I wanted to talk about. You know, I bring my guys all across the country. You know, I can build them at home, make them undefeated.
For sure.
But at the amateur level, let's go to the enemy territory, see what happens. You know, like you've seen Benito Rodriguez out here twice now, right? Twice. One time he finished, it was in a kickboxing fight against Devin Flores.
Yes.
That went to a split draw.
Yep.
I truly thought he won that fight.
Yep.
But then you just saw him completely smash somebody in a combat jiu-jitsu match. The crazy thing is about that match was that kid is about to get a brown belt.
Wow.
Benito just got his purple belt maybe 2 months ago.
Wow.
So,
and he was in there doing that kind of damage.
And he was in there doing that kind of damage. That's why I would love to see Malcolm go out of town and see what he could do before he goes pro. Because you're going to want to build yourself at home, right? But let's go test ourselves and go grab one more belt before he goes pro.
Absolutely. You lose. Here we go. Let's send you up now for the official announcement of your winner.
Our action comes to a halt in round number 1. Your winner by TKO out of the red corner.
Say his name.
And put some respect on it.
Malcolm the Ronin Wallace, and still your 170-pound MMA champion here in Vigilant MMA, taking that victory home in the first round by referee stoppage. What a showing from the Ronin.
This kid has it all, man. He's a character. He comes out as a character. Absolutely. He walks in there, he's confident, calm, collected. But then when he walks out there, he just handles business. You know, when he walks back to back, he's the humblest person you can meet. And I truly, truly respect that, especially from an undefeated prospect. He hasn't really had competition yet, you know. He's walked through every single guy's fight. I can truly respect that. Coming from a family of fighters, he has a lot of pressure on him, and I feel like he is always living up to it.
Absolutely. I mean, that's definitely making his father proud and following in his brother's footsteps. Marcellus is also very accomplished in kickboxing.
I'm here with the winner, Malcolm Wallace. Malcolm, how you feeling after your victory, man?
Yeah! That's what I'm talking about.
I feel amazing, man. I'm blessed. I got to thank my people first. Inferno, my dad. Hey. I love this shit. I got to thank my sponsors as well. But before I do that, I got to thank God. Thank God I'm here. Thank God we're all here. Can we all take a minute? I want to take a few seconds to just soak this in real quick. So let's be quiet for a few seconds. All right, bet. I got to thank Tea Time. You guys are the best kratom out there. Go get you one. Get you one. Nutrition Elite. Keep me fueled. Love those guys. 239 Nutrition, GC Flooring, Soul Medics, ER Pools, Philly Steak, and everybody else. I love you guys. And I hope not. I hope I got everybody. I gotta thank Vigilant and Brandon too. I mean, without Brandon, none of this would be possible. He does a crazy job. I don't know how he does it. Respect. I want to thank my opponent for coming out. I had over 15, 20 opponents for this fight pull out or not take the fight. So Tate's a real man. Thank you, Tate.
Was this the fight you were expecting?
Yeah, I expected him to come and fight hard because he took this fight on a week's notice when 20 other guys turned it down. So I knew he was going to be a dog. He came in throwing hard shots. He might have landed a few, I don't know. But I'm glad he gave me a hard fight because that's what I need to know I'm on that level. And show you guys what level I'm on. But this shit is not no accident. This ain't no fire drill, this is a real thing. So.
What's next for you, Malcolm?
What's next? Back to the lab. Everybody wants to see me go pro, right? I'm not really in a hurry, to be honest, but I'd like to do something at the end of this year. I want a few more belts, so we'll see what happens, man.
Sounds good. Round of applause for Malcolm Wallace one more time.
And it seems like the Ronin has his head in the right place. He said he wants to go and get himself a couple more amateur belts before the year's out and he turns pro.
That's something I'd love to hear, you know. He's not rushing to go pro. He's young, he's hungry. But that's the thing, at the pro level, the only belt that truly matters is that UFC title.
Right.
You know, so he knows, let's go get these belts now as an amateur. Then we're going to try to get there.
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank you again for joining us. Safe travels back to Missouri, my friend. But for everybody else, this has been Vigilant MMA Combat Quest 33. This has been the 8th installment in the Road Trip series. We're back here in the 239 at the Sydney and Bern Davis Art Center. We had a hell of a night front to back between Combat Quest Boxing 3 and Combat Quest 33. We've seen title eliminators, we saw TKOs, we saw stoppages, we got to see some combat jiu-jitsu tonight. There was so much in store for this event, and of course, it did not disappoint. On top of it all, the Ronin, Malcolm X Wallace, and still your 170-pound champion at the top of the world right now with his family, with his friends, with his gym, and the rest of Fort Myers and Naples in tow. The 239 is on fire tonight, and it's because of Inferno MMA. Make sure you look out at vigilantmma.co for the next event. We're going to be in Wesley Chapel on 4/20. We're going to blaze it up out there, so make sure you catch it. Until then, this is El Segundo Luis Soto alongside Juice James. We want to thank Sean Freeman and Justin Sims of E2A Productions for making tonight possible. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you stay vigilant.